to come to a point. There are mothers and fathers that's sitting here and listen to this radio station. There's people that are tuned in that say, what must I do with my son? What must I do with my daughter who are dealing with drugs, who are under the influence of drugs? They just create chaos within the family, chaos within the house. They don't know. With your experience in life, where you're coming from, please, let's send a helping hand. And can you maybe encourage mothers and fathers, even those who are dealing with drugs, even those who use the drug, those who are they cannot get rid of it. Can you just give them a word of the encouragement?
Yeah. Now my heart is beating so deep now, especially when it comes to mothers. Especially if I want to talk to mothers right now that is listening, all I can say to you is have faith in God again. That's what I want to give to you. Even though you're a backslider, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you do, don't just have faith in God again. You know what I mean? As in Hebrews 11:1 say, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Just that little piece, if the time was now enough, I can preach it for you so that you can understand what that piece is saying. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for. For mothers out there that is hoping now for their children to leave the drugs, to leave the wrong things in life and all this type of things. Remember, my mother also prayed. She prayed daily. My mother was a prayer warrior. She never gave up on prayers. When I started to fall into that trap of the devil, when I was 12 years old, my mother became a prayer warrior. Yes, church was there. Yes, everything was there. But my mother prayed every single day until the day she closed her eyes. That's why today I can be so grateful and thankful. I studied the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Why? Because that was God was blessing me with that. Why? Because of my mother. She never gave up. So as you as a mother outside right now there at home, you want to give up on your son or you want to give up on your daughter that is outside at night. I know they're always out at night going off the drugs. In the morning they don't want to go and look for a job. In the morning they don't want to, because they went to job last night already. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they're out in the street looking for drugs, looking for guns, looking for all those wrong things. But it's still, the hope and the faith is still in you as a mother, because you gave birth to that precious child, which is still your child. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what that child is doing, no matter who that child is, what the child is doing, as long as you keep and believe in God and have faith in God, no matter you have turned away from God. Like I said, you gotta turn back to God. You know what I mean? And believe in God, because He's the only one that can bless you. Because I believe, my mother is celebrating with the angels right now in heaven. I believe my mother is dancing right now with the angels in heaven, because she's looking down on me, and she can see the glory of the work of God, what He's doing in my life right now, because she never gave up to sit on her knees and pray. Yes, sometimes everybody, unbelievers or even believers, will look at you and like you're doing wrong when you become a prayer warrior. No, you're not wrong. I can testify to them when it comes to my mother and prayers. She never gave up on her son. I'm talking about myself as a living testimony, talking about guns, drugs. I've been 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I will come. There's times I don't even come home. What is on my mother's mind? My son is dead. My son is dumped somewhere. My son is killed or something. What is the next phone call? The phone call that is coming through. I know my mother never slept like you as a mother right now, but all you gotta do is keep on praying and keep on believing. That very son that you wanna throw for the devil, this is the very son that's gonna do and become what you prayed for, what you've hoped for, what you believe for. You know what I mean? Look at me today, I'm a shining star of the prayers of my mother. I believe for me to be on the radios and TVs, for me to be in newspapers, for me to do theater shows, to be in TVs, that's all blessings, because I know this is the things that my mother have prayed for. This is the thing that my grandparents have prayed for. This is the things that you prayed for many, many years ago. You know what I mean? So don't stop. as a mother or as a father, even though you are father, you're being by God, but you feel disappointed. You know what I mean? Because of what have happened maybe in church or what have happened outside or anywhere that have hurt you in the gospel. Just turn back to God and have that faith in God and believe that there is a God that will help you. You know what I mean? Because that little boy is looking to you as a father. You know what I mean? My pa's an alcoholic, my pa's a drunk, my pa het aan die Here gedien. Wat moet ek nou nog die Here dien? Wat moet ek nou? You know what I mean? He's looking at all those things. No matter is a boy and is a girl. Remember, you are his father. Just like we call it. God, Abba, our Father in heaven, you know what I mean? We gotta believe that there is a God in heaven, because for me, what I'm doing right now, I walk in the faith, in the footstep of the prayers of what my mother did, because I witnessed those prayers. I'm not lying to you. I saw it. How many times my mother was on her knees, and what was my words? I was always rebuking her. I was always like, there's no God. Can't you see what we're going through? We are dying. People is dying. I'm dying. I was stuck in sin where I rebuked my own mother that was on her knees. But look how God is working out. Of seeing my mother in the room, seeing my mother in the house, how she's crying in front of the God. That's why you gotta turn back to him. If you see your son is out at night, 3 o'clock, you're fighting and all this type of thing, never give up on that. You know how proud she is before she closed her eyes 2 years ago, because I'm at Wawe Musenberg, which is a biblical school, you know what I mean? I managed to study the whole Bible with that school, and my mother became so proud. I even went as far to teach the Bible today, you know what I mean? I can teach it anywhere, you know what I mean? And that's all blessings from prayers, you know what I mean? So for you as a mother out there, you must just keep on, have that hope, have that belief, because you are the cornerstone of the house. I know how does it feel as a mother. I know how does it feel to be as a father, because for me, most of the work that I'm doing right now, you know what I mean? I'm working in prisons, working with Hope Prison Ministries. I'm talking to fathers that is in prison as I do my outreach of my community development studies. I do it with Hope Prison Ministry. And we go into prison and I see fathers without children and all this. And I always talk to them and I always say, you gotta hope and believe. I'm talking to fathers in prison that they have 25 years, 20 years, so many years. Some of them even have years more than Nelson Mandela, and I'm talking with them. I always say there is hope, there is a belief, because I found my hope in prison. I found my belief in prison. You know what I mean? And today, God is revealing everything to the world, to the streets. I mean, even to my own gangster broers. As ek tussen my broers is met 'n suit en tie, hulle kan nie glo as ek wat staan rondom hulle met 'n suit en tie, of as ek deur die Kuifvlees loopie, of as ek deur die streets loop, of even as ek teruggaan in 'n noue park, en as ek in die ghettos is, die mense sien vir my in die ghettos van 'n noue park, die ghettos van Otini, dan sê hulle wel, is die leitie wat voor ons groot geraak het, so om ons kof, die gemors, die ding moet al lankal dood. I mean, I hate that curse. Het was oor my liewe gepreek, oor my liewe gesê, oor my liewe geals, but the powerful prayers of my mother, she never gave up. You know what I mean? She always believed there's a God. She always knew there's a God that can help you out of each and every circumstances that you have in life. You know what I mean? So if you have that opportunity, go over to your son, go over to your daughter. You know what I mean? Don't just give them to the devil just like that. You know what I mean? That's what I always do when I talk to these broken souls, broken people on the streets, working with homeless, like even in Musenberg, because that's where I'm staying right now with Wawe, by Wawe Musenberg. For me, staying in Musenberg, which we all know as Bailey Beach, as Mooi, it likes as Hollywood, you know what I mean? But there's always homeless people, there's always gangsters, you know what I mean? It is such a thing that there's a program called U-Turn, for me to go in and talk to homeless guys. And I always say, guys, you gotta fix it to go back to your mothers, because your parents is also crying. You know what I mean? Because these guys is sleeping under the bridge. These guys is sleeping on the street. But there's always a sense of hope. All that they want to hear is just a story of hope. All they want to hear is a story of help. You know what I mean? Because if you go out to them, remember, they believe in their drugs because they caught in drugs. I was a drug dealer. I know how does it go. Ek weet hoe gaan dit in 'n Pela Pos, man. Ek was in 'n Pela Pos. Ek was 'n besellie van Pela Poste. Nie 'n Pela van Pela Poste. Ek weet hoe poes sy drugs. Ek weet wat maak sy met sulke goede. But ek meen vandag week ek weer in die Pela Poste. Ek gaan sommer binne in die Pela Poste. Ek doen, baie mense het gedink, as ek aan 'n Pela Pos gaan en ek kom uit, as ek weer gangsters al, vandag sê die mense, vra die mense, how do you get it right to go in there and come out of there? I said, Daai is aan die mense wat ons voor bid. Ons bid dan wat die mense, ons vraag aan wat die mense van hulle liewe te sê. Ons sien al die goede wat die mense, wat ons, hoe gaan dit toesien met die mense nie? Why don't we go and drink water with these people? Because that's the very souls that we are praying for. This is the very souls that we're talking about. Yes, you can mention Paul. Yes, you can mention Peter, mommy. You can talk about any person. That very same people that is written in the Bible. Look at the life stories of who they was before they became those people that is in the Bible. You know, they were also people, the very same children that you have. So, moenie vir hulle weggooi nie, man. Hy is nog altyd, soos ek altyd sê, hy is altyd ons kinders. Hy is altyd ons broers. Hy is altyd ons familie. Hy is altyd die mense wat ons moet voor help. So kom, as ons nou een siel weggooi, wat kan die siel maak om die rest van die ander siele toe kan om te vrot? Soos as die een siel kan help, dat die Here nie lief is vir ons nie. Isn't that what God want from us? Just for us to save that one soul. So jou een siel kind wat daar in 'n pelapos nou is, waar nou is, moet nie opgee momie man. Hou net vas. Die Here is altyd saam met ons man. Kyk, waar is ek vandag? Ek was al binne 'n plane al. Ek het 'n goeie job. Ek het alles gekry al. Kyk waar eet ek vandag in KFC's en allemaal die Spurs en Kentucky's. How come does happen? Ek het dan nou die dag tronkos al. It's because of prayers. So never despise the little things that God have. That what God can do with those little things. Because your prayers lyk klein. Wat jy doen in die kamer. Wat jy doen, niemand luister nie. Of wat. There's always somebody that's listening to your prayers. You know what I mean? God will always reach out to that little lost soul that you are praying for. You know what I mean? Even the neighbors, you know what I mean? There's neighbors, there's everybody. Julle almal moet net saamkom. Moenie dink as jou neighbor se kind, dan wil sy nie vir hom help nie. Hy sê my kind, ek worry nie van hy kind. Hy's gebors wat die op en af my loop. Hy steel die, he's still your neighbor. Because it's written, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know what I mean? So, gaat uit na hom toe, wys hom aan. Ek meen, as moes jy mooi my aan dis 'n kind te sien, 3 uur in die nag, 4 in die nag. As ek, if I'm in a mission field, because I do missions, I study missions, you know, I'm doing missions with WAWM. If I'm on that time on the streets, definitely, ek het in die aande geloop, die tyd vir drugs, ek het drugs, groot drug, scooter gaan loop haal. When I see you so, I always talk, because I know, hoekom ek sê, wat soek sy, die tyd 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock wakker, sy soek nou drugs, where I can help, how many people I've led back home, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it's like, hey, ek weet sy is uit vir drugs, ek weet sy soek drugs, you need to be at home, you know, hoekom ek weet, hy is die tyd wat die duivel sy werk doen, met jou kinders en jou siel, hoekom, sy lewe by die huis, sy lewe ding, waar is jou kind, ek weet my ma het hier gegaan, you know what I mean, but my mother never stayed in a comfort zone, my mother always came and look where I am, my mother always came and talk to me, al het ek nog gestaan tussen my broerse, al het ek nog gestaan tussen my brasse, ek het gepak dit in die trom, soos julle mos al die famous woord ken man, en sê, achter die tralies is jou broerse kommie, is waar my broerse was hier aan vir my nie, but definitely my ma was haar, dier die rien, dier die winter, dier die soemer, dier die alle seasons van die jaar, was my ma by my gewees, hoekom, sy het gegolo, haar praise will comes to life, and look at me today I can smile, today my mother celebrate life with the angels in heaven, so for that mothers, all of you people out there, God bless you, amen.